My ex-husband's new wife showed up at my house on a Tuesday morning holding a thick gray folder against her chest, and asked whether he had ever tried to make me believe I was losing my mind. I had met Vanessa only twice. That morning, she looked exactly like I felt during the final year of my own marriage. My name is Lena Porter. I was 40, divorced 3 years, and still a little embarrassed by how relieved I felt when another woman finally asked me the right question. Before I tell you what was in that folder, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from tonight. My marriage to Eric lasted 14 years, and we grew apart was the version he told everyone, including the court. The private truth was harder to prove. Eric rearranged reality in small degrees, moved my keys and called me forgetful, changed plans, then swore he'd told me, withdrew money, then questioned my budgeting. If I showed him proof, he attacked my tone or accused me of keeping records because I didn't trust him. By the time I filed for divorce, I was photographing the stove before leaving home and asking my doctor if stress could cause memory loss. Eric told the custody evaluator I was anxious and obsessive. He wasn't entirely wrong. I'd become that way trying to hold on to facts that kept changing whenever they inconvenienced him. Stay with me, because what Vanessa spread across my dining table proved that Eric's playbook hadn't retired when our marriage ended. It just found a new target. Vanessa said Eric had told her I was unstable and jealous. Then the exact same things started happening to her: accused of forgetting conversations, restricted from their joint account, jewelry disappearing and reappearing where she'd already looked, Eric telling friends she drank too much though she barely drank at all. 3 months earlier, she'd found unlabeled medication in her bedside drawer. A pharmacist friend identified it as a sedative she'd never been prescribed. That's when she started documenting everything. The folder held bank records, messages, and legal recordings. In one, Eric insisted Vanessa had agreed to sell her condo and invest in his consulting company. When she pushed back, he said, "This is exactly what Lena used to do, rewrite things when she got scared." Hearing my own name made my skin go cold. Vanessa had also discovered a $1 million life insurance policy on herself, Eric as sole beneficiary. The application falsely claiming a history of depression and sedative use, with an electronic signature she'd never given. "Did he do this to you?" she asked. I told her about a smaller policy Eric took out on me during our marriage. I'd assumed it was canceled after the divorce. Vanessa opened her spreadsheet. It wasn't. Eric was still the beneficiary. Our son Oliver's name appeared too. We didn't panic. We agreed to follow evidence, not fear. My attorney and an insurance fraud specialist confirmed the policy on me had been converted after our divorce using a consent form with a forged signature, dated 8 months after we split. The insurer froze it immediately. The policy on Vanessa showed even worse irregularities, entered by a broker connected to Eric's own consulting business. Now here's something I'd genuinely like your take on in the comments. If a man's new partner showed up at your door with proof he was doing the exact same thing to her that he did to you, would you believe her immediately, or would some part of you still hesitate? Vanessa moved into a hotel that afternoon without telling Eric where. I changed my locks and told Oliver's school that no schedule changes could happen without written confirmation from both parents. When Eric called that evening, he sounded almost amused. "So Vanessa came to you. You two are going to make each other crazy." I said only, "The insurance company has the consent form." He went silent, then asked if I understood the consequences of false accusations. I hung up. Investigators found Eric's broker had submitted falsified applications for multiple clients, copying signatures from tax documents. Home security footage, installed for a dog sitter and forgotten, showed Eric entering Vanessa's bedroom with a pharmacy bag and opening her drawer. It didn't prove he drugged her, but it proved she hadn't imagined the bottle. His explanation changed twice. Vanessa filed for divorce. Eric told her employer she had a substance problem and warned my own parents I was running a revenge campaign. This time we were ready. Her attorney sent her clean medical records to her employer. My parents, taught by my own divorce, didn't engage. The hardest part was Oliver, who came home angry after Eric told him we were trying to send him to jail. A child therapist helped us give him honest, age-appropriate language instead. The court reduced Eric's unsupervised time after he involved Oliver in legal threats, based not on whether he was manipulative, but on documented forged signatures and inappropriate conversations with a child. Evidence worked where labels never had. Comparing our timelines, Vanessa and I found the pattern was nearly identical. Eric grew most controlling after major commitments, encouraged both of us to distance ourselves from friends who questioned him, and had literally kept notes on which phrases made each of us stop arguing. One email read, "Use the same signature file from the old application. She won't respond if contacted." The she was me. Eric eventually pleaded to forgery and fraud, avoided prison, but received probation, fines, and professional restrictions. Both insurance policies were canceled. Oliver's was moved into a trust neither parent could access a loan. Vanessa's divorce finalized a year after she first knocked on my door. We didn't become dramatic best friends. Shared harm connects people, but it can also trap them in the same chapter. We met for coffee occasionally and supported each other without building our identities around the man who'd hurt us both. "I'm sorry I believed his stories about you," she told me once. "I believed his stories about myself too," I said. "That's the more important truth." If you're constantly asked why you need proof of something you already know is true, remember, trustworthy people don't fear accurate records. And if someone from the other side of a story ever shows up holding evidence, listen before you decide who she is. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Unheard Drama Stories and let me know in the comments where you're watching from and whether you'd have opened that door.